Okay, so we are back with the episode 16. This will be the episode 16, and I'm going to wait for my friend Anthony Kenneth Bishop to show up, and we'll talk a little bit about the spirits worlds and the ghosts and his experience with using a ghost app that he has and the kind of interactions he had with the spirits world. It'll be very interesting. So I'm going to wait for Anthony Kenneth Bishops to show up here, and then we're going to start talking about it. So I'm just going to wait for him to come in, and we're going to be all set. There we go. I'm going to change the background to a little bit more different here. There we go. Make it a bit spookier. So he should be here any moment. Once he comes in, we'll talk about that and his experience, because he had used the spirit box to communicate with the other side. And me personally, I have never done it, simply because I'm just afraid to, I'm afraid of opening that Pandora box, me personally. It's something that I thought about, doing, but it's just, my whole thing is, when you start contacting these spirits, I think you can also attract other spirits, and then you could open a Pandora box. And once you open that Pandora box, then these spirits follow you everywhere you go. It doesn't matter where you at, they're going to follow you wherever you go. So it's one of those things where I try not to mess with. I try to leave the spirits world where they're at, and let me enjoy this physical world where I'm at. Now, some people believe in this, some people don't believe in this. So it's kind of like a 50-50. But it makes for a good, conversation, because there's a lot of paranormal activities out there that have been documented. Clearly, they have been documented, and these are just the regular people who have security cameras, placed all over their houses, all over their house that they live in. And these security cameras, they picked up all kinds of strange activities. When, when they're not at home, people who live there, when they're not at home, the cameras have recorded all kinds of strange activities. Like, the cabinets opening, the knives and forks flying out, chairs moving, bookshelves falling down, and all sorts of different stuff. It's which has been documented. And it's, people say it's a special effect. That's a lot of activities. That's a lot of people. Listen, it's cost a lot of money to create those special effects. Let's say that you wanted to do that, and you wanted to create the special effect of stuff flying out, moving down. I'm not saying you can't do that, but it's very costly. And that's too much money to be invested into something that you don't know if it's going to be popular or not. So, we can say that, thousands and thousands of people around the world are doing it for the money, because it costs money to create such a special effects. Even with today's Hollywood movies, it costs a lot of money to make those effects and to composite the whole thing. I'm not saying that it cannot be done, but it costs a lot of money. And I know that not everyone has those kind of abilities financially to create those kind of scenarios. So I believe that there's something out there, and we don't know what it is. Call it the spirits world, call it paranormal, but there's definitely something out there that we cannot explain what it is. And it seems to happen usually at night when it gets dark for some reason. These activities seem to happen mainly during the night. And that's an interesting thing. You know, there's like a certain pattern. Are they sensitive during the light, during the day, and they can only do it during the night? There's, all kinds of speculation about that. So, so we'll see what type of experiences my friend Anthony has. So he should be here anytime. I'm just waiting for him to set up his computer and everything. So here, let me send him a link. Hey, what's up, John Smith? How you doing? How are you? What about you guys? Have you guys have any paranormal activities or any kind of like ghost spirit activities out there, that something that has happened, or you noticed something, or you felt something, like some kind of a presence? You guys can type it in down the chat room, because usually you can detect when you walk into a room, and when you walk into a certain place, you can detect a certain vibes. You can detect that, hey, I have a bad vibes about this place. I got a bad feeling about this place. There's something about this place. Usually starts with anxiety, shortness of breath, panic attack, where you sense that there's something wrong, but you can't explain what it is, but you just feel it. Your heart has irregular heartbeat. It's giving you the anxiety, tight chest, shortness of breath, like you can feel the presence of something. And whatever that something is in that room, it's letting you know it's not good. And maybe you should back away. So if you guys had any of those kind of experiences, you should definitely, write it down. Thank you, Double Tap. I've never done it. Anthony has done it. He had communicated through a Ghost app, which is free. Anybody can download it, or even through radio frequencies with the antenna. You can do it as well. But I try not to mess with it. Even the Ouija board, I will never buy a Ouija board. There's certain things, even a voodoo doll, there's certain things I just don't want to mess with. I don't want to open the portal of whatever is out there. You know what I mean? Once you open that door, once you open that Pandora box, that's it. It's like a floodgates are open and you cannot stop the flood. Now it's good luck. So I never done it, but it's interesting to talk about it. To see what other people have had experience in the past, and that's really why I wanted to do this. Have you had any experience with this stuff? Double Tap. Like, have you ever experienced? If you feel comfortable talking about it, I don't know. But have you experienced anything in the past where you felt that at certain place, at certain room, or certain facilities where you might be at, that you might felt something, out of the place, I had only one experience with my furniture, a desk. It's like a cabinet, honestly. It's just like a cabinet where I have my TV, and that cabinet is always cold. Like the temperature is like freezing every time I put my hands on it. The temperature is freezing, but everything else around the room it's hot. I mean, not super hot, but a mild temperature that it needs to be, like 75 degrees, you know. And then when I get close to this cabinet, when I place my hand on this cabinet, then the temperature drops very, very low. Like I would say 20 degrees Celsius, like very cold, like almost like a fridge, you know. And it's funny because I have my TV there and it's hot. I got other things, lights and projector in the back. You know, it's a lot of lights around it. But that area where that where that cabinet is, it's always cold. Even during the summer, like it's always cold when I get there. Yeah. It's interesting, you know. But I don't know what that is and what that means. Is there some kind of a spirit there? Or but I never had any kind of like strange activities, like seeing something fall down or seeing something moved or seeing a door close and open. I haven't had any of those kind of things, you know. So I'm not sure what it means. I spoke to Anthony about it, and he says maybe you should get a clergyman. You should get like a priest or somebody just to bless that place, to bless that cabinet. Keep in mind that's not my cabinet. That's from the previous owner cabinet. That's there. It's not mine. When I moved into this place, that was a previous owner cabinet. You know, so I don't know if something was attached to that previous owner or the spirit or whatever it might be. But this is based on what I have been told. People say if a certain area in your room it's very cold. This is according to these professional paranormal guys, you know, these paranormal professionals, the ghost hunters. They said that there's a spirit there. Like if the certain area in that room, it's super cold, and you know your air condition, it's not, you know, turned way down low to be cold. If it's at the 75 degrees, you know, or 85 degrees or whatever, and you go to that place, and it's very cold, and everything else around it, it's a mild temperature, and they say that there has to be a presence of a spirit there. You know, that's what I was told. You know. Also, I'm so happy for Money Penny. She got her PC, her powerful PC desktop. I just helped her with the PC, and she finally got it working. And she got I would say, a beast of a dragon PC. But I'll let her talk about that when she comes on about her specs. But it's a very powerful PC. I'm very happy for her because this is her first time owning a really a PC for her very first time, and what a good way for her to own a PC for her very first time with such a powerhouse. And I can't wait for her to tell you guys the specs and everything. But anyway, she got it working. She got the whole thing set up. I'm really happy for her. All right, let me see. Well, I cannot tell you. I mean, because you know, I'll let her tell you, because I promised her not to tell anybody what specs she has. But her specs are Let's just put it that way. Like a DB11 or DB12, like Aston Martin DB11 or the future DB12. I don't know. It's powerful. It's just super powerful, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And look, I'm happy for her, man. It couldn't have happened to a better person, man. You know, I love seeing good people get good things, you know. It always makes me happy to see good people get good things, you know what I mean? Because they deserve it. You know, they're nice people, they're sweet personality, and I'm like, hey, I'm always happy to see good people get good things, you know what I mean? You're pretty close. Let me just put it this way. Engineer, you're pretty close. Very close. Pretty close. Just got to go a little bit higher. But you very close, but just a little bit higher. Hey, look, man, I'm happy for her. You know, I told her I'm more jealous of her PlayStation 2 than I am of her PC because I don't know, man. There's a special place in my heart for PlayStation 2. You know, that PlayStation 2 really, I had a great time, as did everybody else. I'm pretty sure a lot of people. But there's something so special about that PlayStation 2 consoles. It reminds me of all my friends in the past, of all the good times I had in the past. It was such a great console. Not just as a console itself, but also it was a really great time, and I really enjoyed life back then more than I do now. And it was such a great console, you know. I would probably say it's one of my best consoles, period. Yes, I love my Dreamcast. I put Dreamcast to number 2. I put Nintendo 64 to number 3. And then I could put Sega Saturn to number 4. But I would say PlayStation 2, without a doubt, you know, one of my favorite consoles, you know, period. Hey, there he is,
Hello,
ladies and
Adam.
gentlemen. There he is, Sir Anthony Kenneth Bishop.
Right, is my audio coming through good?
Oh, crystal clear, crystal clear.
Ah, that's good, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
Crazy.
just ordered some food, so it should be in a bit.
not a problem. You can eat even while we do a podcast, man. It's all
Oh.
good. Yeah,
I'll
you know
tell my
me.
eating habits are like worse on it.
Nah, don't worry about it, man. With me, like it's a chill. This is a chill podcast. This is not like you know, what you call it, Sky News or BBC. This is like just chill. You know, if people have a problem watching somebody eat, well, I guess I don't know. They need to move to Mars or another planet, or I don't know.
Or like that film actor where you got taking a picture of him eating a sandwich.
Yeah, my question would be like, if you have a problem watching somebody eat, I guess you never seen. I guess where do you live? You know, which planet do you live on? Because humans eat, unfortunately. So.
Or it could be a fetish for some people. Some people
I don't
like
know.
people watching them eating and all that.
Well, what's his name? Pickle Ninja.
Yeah.
Pickle Ninja. He got this urge to eat. Once I started eating, he's like, "Man, I'm so hungry now." So he ordered some chicken or something. I don't know, and then he ate. But it does for me too. When I see somebody else eat, I want to eat as well. You know. So. Crazy
Yes.
Assassin says that he been playing Sifu and is the hardest game I've played in a while.
Nice.
You know, I've been so tempted to play Sifu, but to be honest, there's so many things going on last week, this week, that I honestly didn't get a chance to play this game. But that's okay. I can play Sifu maybe when nothing happens during the summer, like July, August. I can maybe play it and try it out when it goes to PlayStation Plus or something, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so Tony, I really want to talk to you about this, and just to be me and you to talk
Yep.
about this. I just earlier I mentioned to everybody that uh, I personally have never messed with this stuff because I'm afraid to say the wrong things,
Mm.
or to open a can of worms, or to open a portal to something other that might be negative, because I really don't know what that is on the other side. So I
Yeah.
try to be very careful. So because I'm not so sure, and I don't have any experience, I just try to let it go.
Mm.
If I don't have any experience on that subject, I keep my hands off of it. But what were your very first experience like prior to the ghost box? Like did you ever see anything or felt anything out of the ordinary?
So one brother was out one day. He was at nightclub, and I think this was on the weekend. And it was just me and my mum left him. My other brother went to the shop or something, the paper shop or something. He was going to be back in a bit. So it was just me and my mum just in here. So I thought, oh, may as well do like a sort of a ghost box session while those two are out, so it stops them from sort of annoying us and all of that in that way. So I thought it could be a good opportunity to do it. And I said, if there's any like sort of spirits around and all that kind of stuff. Next minute, I kind of felt like there was someone. I said, if there's anyone here, where are you? And they said, I'm outside your door. Outside the door,
Wow.
at the bedroom
Wow.
door. Next minute, I hear something. It sounded like someone coming up the stairs, walking up the stairs. So I opens up the door, and I know my brother was out and about, and my other brother was night clubbing, so it wasn't them two. But then again, it could be like a mouse or something, maybe making a noise up the stairs, and because they're quite noisy as well. So we've got to sort of slightly try and find what it could be. It could have been nothing, or it could have been something. But I kind of feel, right, if there's something at that door, maybe went downstairs or something to go to the kitchen, maybe go and get some food out of the fridge.
Yeah.
Maybe the spirit was hungry or something and said, oh, what's going on in here? But, like, I mean, I like making, like, jokes of it, because obviously it is a serious matter as well, and I
Yeah.
feel like, obviously, sometimes we've got to have that sort of light at the end of the tunnel and try and think, what could it possibly be? But we shouldn't be taking it too seriously as well. So there's a kind of fine line where you could take something seriously if it's a serious matter and then we're trying to investigate it, but on the other hand, you've got to basically try and get a pinch of salt as well, because you don't know what it could be. It could be something, or it could be nothing. So we
Yeah.
have to sort of try and lower our expectations in that way. It's like you could go down to the street one day and sort of see a ghost or something at midnight and stuff, or you could think it's something, but it could be just like a speck of dust, or it could be like a street light bouncing off some object which is using sort of the radio waves through the air, which creating that light effect. Or it could be maybe you got the curtains closed and some cars down the road and you see some orb coming through the window or something, but then again it's like the car down the road. So there's a lot of things that we've got to try and deteriorate before we can know the truth and all that, whether it's real or whether it's not.
I agree, and it's also important to keep that, like you said, fine line, to keep that balance.
Yeah.
What does the balance mean? Balance means, you can be a little bit laughed at it, a little bit comedic, but to a certain extent, if it's a enjoyable comedy where you can say and laugh, oh, this is kind of funny, I got pinched, but to a certain extent, right? And also when it comes to fear, you don't want to be too scared, because then they can use that to their advantage. So you have to keep that balance. And these spirits, they can read us. We can actually not say anything. They already read our levels: fear, laughter, calm, not calm, ventilating, irregular heartbeat, all of this stuff. They can sense like how we present ourselves. So I know it's not easy, for some people. They get scared right away. But if you can't keep that composure, if you can't keep that balance level, then guess what? Then they will want to communicate with you and say, okay, this guy obviously is not afraid. This guy understands what's going on. Let's talk to him. And I think that's, but respect, something you mentioned the other day, I think it's a very, very important. That's why we keep talking about this balance.
Yeah.
It comes with the respect. You don't want to laugh too much, because this spirit, once upon a time, used to live a life, a physical life. And something terrible happened to this person. Not his fault, but something terrible happened. Maybe he was murdered or whatever. So you want to approach it. You want to approach it very carefully and respectfully. And I think this is why not everyone can do this. You know, this is what there should be, like a certain license for this. People who are eligible, like a doctor, like you have to be, you know, like a degree or something, professional, to be able. Don't you think that there should be? They should recognize this, like the government should recognize this, and.
Well, I mean, myself, when I got into it, I got in it purely because I watched a lot of TV programs like Most Haunted and all these other programs.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt, basically, I felt that disconnection with the TV shows, because you kind of feel like, okay, maybe they're just putting it on because of entertainment reasons. But I was out for it because I want to sort of find out if there is something out there, if these devices actually do work, or if they're just some sort of novelty effects on them, whether you've got these apps that comes out and stuff. But I think as well, like what we've got to realise as well, the spirits are in different sort of places. It's not, they could be just in your house, they could be down the street from you talking to you, or they could be stuck in a loop or something. Now, with spirits that are stuck in loops, they're doing the same thing every single day. It's because they're missing something in their life. The reason why they actually keep doing that loop all the time, doing the same thing over and over and over and over. It's a bit like that film with Bill Murray.
Oh yeah, Groundhog Day.
Yeah, Groundhog Day. But in a way, it's like spirits. I've got something. The reason why they're stuck in that loop, maybe because they need help in some sort of way, or they're stuck because they can't move on. And I kind of feel like if there is something out there, the spirits are real, and they're trying to communicate. The reason why are they communicating? Why are they communicating with the living? Obviously, they're doing it for some reasons. Maybe they want to sort of get us to help them move on in some sort of way.
Yeah. And what it is basically is, like you said, some spirits are stuck in that limbo, and we don't understand why they're stuck in that limbo. Are they being punished, or is there some kind of special place where they need to be forgiven to pass on, and they have to pass the test to pass on? So there's a lot we don't understand, obviously, and of course that's why the governments and the world leaders will never acknowledge this, because they don't understand it. You know, if it's something we don't understand, and it's hard for us to acknowledge something we can't control. And of course, spirits worlds, it's really, you can't control it, because we don't really have any authority over that, of that higher spirit world, you know. But
and I think this is the reason why the elitists themselves are trying to control the spirits. There's actually talks, the reason why they're trying to control the spirits is because they get sort of a fetish out of it, of some sort. It's like you hear about the elitists, you hear about the that group, the Freemasons and stuff. They want total control of it. And the reason why, I think, is because they don't want to let some of these spirits go. They're all on a frequency. They're all on different levels.
Interesting.
Now, if they can tap into these levels, they can actually stop them from doing whatever they're supposed to be doing, and they don't let them go on to the next level, or heaven and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like them they're trying to control us down on here, but they're also trying to do it on the next level as well.
Interesting. You know, I never thought about that, but, you know, you could be onto something, you know. We all think that it's money. I mean, they really don't need money. They print money. They have money. They got all the money in the world. They don't need any of that stuff, because they control everything. So they have everything pretty much. They already accomplished that, right? They're already at that level. Long time. I think you might be onto something about the spirits worlds. I think that's really what they're tuning into. And that's why all of this, you know, they're trying to communicate with the other extraterrestrials from other universes to find out how spiritually are they connected, you know, or what level. Like, you know, I did a research about the density levels of spirituality. There's 12 different density levels. we're on a density level number 3, from what I understand. And then there's a level 4, level 5, level 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like the higher density level of spirituality you are in, the more connected you are with the universe. And less connected you are with the money and material world, like needful things, all this, it's all crap. All this material is just, it's crap. Needful things, you know, you really don't need it, honestly.
No, it's materialistic.
Yeah, materialistic.
You can't take it with you.
It's like a crack cocaine, heroin shit. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
it's what it is.
You can't take
Yeah.
it with you when you're dead anyway, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what they want us to be preoccupied, you know, with all this technology, new phone every year, new television every year, new console, new this, new that. They want us to be preoccupied with all of these gadgets, you know, and that they keep pumping all of this new technology and gadgets because they want us to be preoccupied with that kind of stuff. But behind a closed door, behind a curtain, right? I think you might be right. I think they're more interested in the spirits, you know.
Spirit vampires, they call them.
Yeah, spiritual. What, you know, whatever label people want to put into it, whatever, you know, helps them label it. But it's the outer world spirituality, meaning another dimension. Let's just dissect it to what really it is. It's another dimension, and that's why you can't see it. You cannot touch it because it's in the same. We could be right now sitting in the same room right now. And on the same frequency, somewhere out there, another dimension, there's probably 20 spirits around, walking around, and probably through me, through you right now, and we don't know.
No.
Right? And they probably don't want to bother me or bother you because they have no business with us. They're just passing through, right? Like a traffic, you know, passing through. So that's why we can't really see them. I tell people it's because we're in a different dimension. We are in a physical realm. They're in a different realm. A realm where you don't need to drink, eat, which I don't think you would need to, where you just an anonymous feeling.
Well, all we are is just consciousness.
Consciousness, like sleeping, right?
Yeah.
You might pretend like you're eating and fool yourself. You can imagine that, I guess. You could create anything in that world, right?
Yeah.
Where you're thinking you're eating or drinking, but you're not really drinking or eating. But you pretend that you are drinking and eating, I guess. And you can have a sense of taste and you know, feel, but it's not really it, you know.
No. It's like that guy, I don't know if you watch Ghost with Patrick Swayze.
Yes, kind of like that.
Yeah, and it's like that guy that was on the train and he told that ghost and all that to get off his train and all that. And then he was like looking at the cigarettes and all that. He goes, "Oh, only can have a drag." And it's like, in his previous life, he liked cigarettes.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he liked those cigarettes, and he can't have them no more. So it kind of distressed him in that kind of way, that he couldn't have it. And it makes you wonder, maybe when people go off in the spirit world, they kind of miss those things, those materialistic things. That they
Or
used to have.
maybe there is a certain training you have to go through, like a certain level. Like you have to advance to a certain level to be able to imagine that you are eating something and feeling it and eating it or having a pleasure. Maybe there is that, you know, that higher density level where you can actually achieve that. But not everyone can achieve that. Some people, some spirits are maybe punished, and we call it hell, you know, and they're stuck in that limbo, and they cannot pass on to the academy or whatever you want to call that place. We're all just kind of giving our own plausible ideas of what it might be out there. We don't know, obviously, but who knows?
I mean, it'd be fantastic.
It'd be great.
Because if people, because I've heard people when they've actually had that, where is it called, where they die and they come back and all that, and they've seen stuff. And they said they didn't want to leave. And maybe, hopefully, at some point, maybe we don't want to leave at that point.
Think about it. Welcome back, by the way, engineer. Think about this. Let's say your life right now, you know, you got all kinds of health issues. You don't feel good about yourself. You're struggling. You got this problem. You got that problem. You got a financial problem. You got a dating problem. All kinds of problems, right?
Yeah.
And then you pass on to this other world, right? And this other dimension, and everything's perfect. You got everything. You feel great. You look great. You enjoying yourself, and you're like, hey, this is fantastic, right? I don't want to leave
Yeah.
this. I don't want to go back to my shitty ass, physical world where I was at, working
Yeah.
the shitty ass job, right?
Yeah.
So, but how do you see, maybe there's a judgment based
Yeah.
on how you lived your life, right?
Got the money here, though. Yeah. It's 40. They said it's £38 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just getting the food.
So
But,
anyway,
yeah.
maybe in my, observation, in my analysis ideas, and this is just me talking out of my butt because I don't know. Nobody knows. No one can really tell me because they don't know.
Yeah.
Only the spirit world can tell me. But again, even with the spirit world, how do we know if they're telling us the truth or not? That's another thing too. You got to have some hardcore evidence to support that claim. But let's say, for example, like, hey, I don't want to come back. Like, let's say you had a surgery and you died for about, I don't know, like 5 minutes could be like 5 hours over there, right?
Mm.
And you're like, it's been 3 minutes now. You got a couple of hours left in the spirit world, and like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to that crappy life, having some kind of tube attached to me, being in pain every day, suffering every day, not, just having all kinds of stress and drama. I don't want to live. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go. And they say, no, you have to go back there. You got some unfinished business to take care of, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, because you were born for a reason. I think we're all born for a reason. And we all have our path. And whatever that path is. Not everyone's going to have the same path, but
Well, you might have that one. Oh, doesn't.
but we all have a path, and based on that path, we go through it, and we have to finish our path. We have to finish our lifespan that was given to us in the first place.
Yeah.
This is in my opinion. And again, there could be some kind of punishment, if, for example, you did something wrong. Like you did some heinous stuff, right? Like a murder or whatever it might be, where you will get punished. You will not have the same access as the good spirits, right? So you are denied the access of what the good spirits have. That passing on through that academy, whatever that is. Let's call it heaven, right? And you are stuck in this limbo called hell, surrounded by these demons. And these demons are troubling you. They're poking you. They're mocking you because you did like a very heinous crime. And that's why I believe maybe some of these spirits are stuck because they did a heinous crime. And they cannot pass on because they need to be forgiven. They need to pass the test or whatever the test might be. And they might get reincarnated to correct their life when they're reborn again into another physical body to do good. Next time when they're born, they can do good. And they can pass on the goodness into the physical world. And I think that's the battle with the spirituality, spirit world. I think the spirit world is like this academy where we're sending out these troops of good spirits to try to change the physical world, to keep it more peaceful. And I think it might have been a struggle. Well, not might have been. It definitely was a struggle in the past, 250 years, or let's say 3,000 years has been a struggle. And that's what these spirits have been trying to do. But I think we have evolved to a certain extent. Where, sure, we still have problems.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. But we definitely have advanced since the dark ages, right?
Yeah.
We definitely have advanced.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that movie, for instance, The Crow and all that. Now, obviously, you could say maybe they're stuck in that limbo because they've done bad things.
Yeah.
But if you look at it from the perspective view of that character, The Crow, Eric Draven, I think his name is, Eric Draven. He didn't actually do anything. He didn't do anything bad. He was there with his girlfriend or fiance or whatever it was, and she got murdered and he got murdered. But yet his body was, or his soul was unrested until he actually was able to kill the people that actually did those crimes and all that. So in a way, maybe to that extent, there's probably like sort of that yin and yang. Obviously, you got that good
Yeah.
and bad stuff, but
Kind
maybe
of like
they,
well, you're right. Like there's a certain regulations, I guess, in the spirit world. They judge you based on what happened to you in the physical world, and they got all the documents. Let's just call it documents, where they can see obviously what you have done in the physical world, how you treated other people, how you conduct yourself, etc., etc., etc. And then once you are passed on to the spiritual world, then they're like, okay, now you haven't finished this. You need to finish that. These are the regulations for you to pass on to that other place. All right. That academy, the university where everybody's having a good time, right? So, what we need you to do, we need you to pass these tests. And if you are unable to carry on and pass on these tests, then we're going to keep you here in this limbo forever. Forever and ever. And then hence the word hell, right? Let's just use it as a reference. It's a hell, right? It doesn't mean it's a burning fire and all that. It's a reference. It's a cold place, dark place called hell. It's definitely cold. I don't think it's hot. All right. Heaven is most likely more hotter, I'll probably think, if we're going to use that analogy, right? This is in my opinion. So maybe that's really what might be happening. Is like there's a certain task you have to be willing to do before you can pass on to that university, to that highest place. Let's call it, the Mecca
checkpoints.
checkpoint to get to that Mecca, to that top Mecca,
Yeah.
the capital, if you will, of spirit world. Yeah.
Because it's like when I was on what's it called, TikTok a couple of months going back. I had this woman said to me, "Oh, can I do like a sort of one of these calling things for you, like a medium thing for you?" I said, "Yeah, it'd be fine, card reading." And then next minute she said, "Oh, she says, does your mum like sort of have a beard?" And I said, "Well, to an extent she did, like she had hair grown on her chin, which was almost like a sort of
A
beard
little
style.
bit, not too much, but just a
Not
little
too much,
bit.
yeah."
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, she did." And then she goes, "She's got a message for you." She said, "She's told you to stop playing video games all day." And that my mum was like that all the time and stuff. She's
That
like, "Oh,
definitely,
get off the
probably
Xbox."
her, man. Probably
Yeah.
her. But that's what spirit. Because here's the thing: just because you exited your suit, your physical, this is your suit. You know what this is? It's a suit, a physical body, so I can operate in this physical realm. But once I exit this physical suit, I'm still gonna have the same spirit. I'm still gonna think the same. I'm not gonna change my stance, right? And that's probably why your mom in spirit was telling you the same thing. You know.
Same person, but
Yeah.
sort of, because I wouldn't tend to like. Anyway, like we're like, if you think about it, this is our shell. This is our like sort of case, and when we died, our shells like left the body, and that's it. It's like a car, like a friend of mine told me. She
Like
said,
an astronaut suit. Like when we go inside the astronaut suit, like a big astronaut suit, and we need that suit to operate in space,
yeah,
right? So it's kind of the same thing, getting out of that shell, pretty much. But the spirit is our body that's inside of it.
or the car chassis or some other car.
Yeah.
then we get inside
Operating
the car.
like, or any kind of airplane, whatever, right? Operating that thing, Yeah. This is just a mechanical thing that we need to operate in the physical realm, That's
I
pretty
think-
much, yeah.
I think scientists need to do more research on it, because I don't think they want to do research into the paranormal, or they don't know where to start to begin with. But I think there should be a separate science lab in the UK ready to delve into paranormal, and whether they can actually maybe use some technology so they can see spirits leaving bodies and all that.
I think they're really afraid to touch on this subject. The academics of science are really afraid because they will be laughed on. They will be called a bunch of whatever names for this, and they don't want to be ridiculed. It's really the ridicule. They're afraid of being ridiculed, and of course they will be ridiculed once they start mentioning ghosts. They'll be called Casper lovers and whatever, and they don't want to be ridiculed. It's really they're afraid of being ridiculed. It's not that they don't want to. I'm sure scientists are interested in everything, but they're afraid because they will get ridiculed, and you know they're going to get ridiculed immediately. And I think that's why there's that the brakes are being put on that. But the reason they're afraid is because we just talk about this. These elitists, these top of the pyramid organizations that have been controlling this world for centuries. They don't want the science to excel on the spirit part of the world. They just want science to do what they ask them to do. Tell people what they need to know and keep them like that. Keep a status quo. Keep the sheeps in the herds. Keep them organized while we do our other things behind the closed doors. That's what they want. They want us just to be smart enough to know how to operate these machines and keep the oil machine running. That's it. We're just being used for that, honestly. They don't want us to be highly intelligent. They only want people who join them to be at that level, to whom they choose, whom they groomed. That's why they look at themselves as celebrities. Yeah. They are above us.
Above
and you
the law
see
as
it.
well.
And you see how much energy they love. You look at Dwayne The Rock. He's already been sold to these elites. How much energy he's getting from all these people, He's walking around. You can see the transformation of him. That power of celebrate me. I'm a demigod. Look at me. Look at me. They feed off of that energy. Look at me. Millions of people. Look at me,
That's why I call them energy vampires.
Yeah, that's what they are. And you saw The Rock when he was younger, and transformation of him slowly transforming himself into them by sucking all of this energy of celebration, celebrity, and you see that. This happens to Vin Diesel, happens to every actor. I mean, it
could be positive. They could be using it as positivity or negativity, but most times it's usually negative in that way. I mean it's positive for them, but negative for everybody else.
Look at Angelina Jolie. I mean, look at her and how much energy she sucked in, constantly sucking all that energy. Look at Ariana Grande, right? And how much energy even Billie Eilish, they're all just sucking all that energy, Yes, they love me. I'm a demigod. Look at me. Yeah, John Cena, all of them, and that's what it is. It's the spirits, man. This is the war to who's gonna control the spirits. But here's the thing: I don't think spirits can be controlled because that's the law of the universe. And I think this is why these elites are failing. Yeah. That's why you see all those blockades in with the trucks in Canada, and people don't want to be told what to do. I think they're losing, man. Yeah. I think they're struggling, dude. Actually, you can find less and less people to join these Freemasons and these lodges. Nobody wants to join this crap anymore. This fraternity, brotherhood, whatever.
Yeah, and sisterhood as well.
And all sisterhood. Yeah. And I think that's because people have tuned in to the spiritual world, and I think they understand that they're being played. I think people starting to wake up that they're being used. I think people starting to wake up to realize that they've been played all of these centuries, all of these years, and they're not happy about it. And they're losing, they're struggling. I know they're struggling. I mean, you can see it, how desperate they are. Like, they put on that fake smile with their fake teeth and their fake whatever eye contacts and the fake makeup, all that fake shit. But deep inside, they're struggling. They're struggling so bad. Like, they're so desperate. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that they're struggling. Makes me freaking happy. Makes me super damn happy, man. To see these vampires get what they deserve. Nothing.
Oh.
Absolutely nothing.
I mean, it's like... No.
Oh, yeah. Electrical engineer says that Dave Bautista got the Illuminati tattoo. Well, yeah, he has to. He has to do it.
He's pandering to him.
Guys, this is how it works. And I think I already explained this. I think I clear and cut day. I've explained this. They approach you and they say, listen, we can take you out of your wrestling career and turn you into a big celebrity movie star. What do you say about that? It's an irresistible offer. But at what cost? The cost is you selling your soul to them. They take your soul and then they just use you for whatever purpose. And the purpose is to manipulate people by you playing this whatever superhero or super this or super that, this big celebrity. We'll fix you, we'll get you big, we'll fix your face, we'll fix your teeth, we'll fix everything, we'll fix your eyes, we got all the medicine technology, we're gonna make you look so powerful and so badass. But you gotta sell your soul. You gotta sell your soul. And this is how they approach you. This is the same method they use for, the world leaders. They do the same thing. They groom in them. It's a very irresistible offer. Hey, you're going to be the most powerful figure on the planet. The entire world will be listening to you when you go and read a teleprompter in front of the microphone. That's an irresistible offer, God damn it.
Yeah,
a lot of people will say, yes, I want that. But at what cost? The cost is selling your soul.
So, but if you're woke and all that, like a lot of people are starting to wake up now and all that, you kind of see the outline of everything that's going on. So, to be honest, if someone come up to me and said, well, we want you to work for us, but we're going to make you more powerful and all this kind of stuff and make you a celebrity, I would say to myself, no, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got 2,000 something plus viewers on my subscribers base at the moment on YouTube, and to be honest, I don't care if I don't get any more now, because because I'm ascertaining for my audience, and it's like it's what you have, what you get and stuff on YouTube. When I started 30 with 30 subscribers, I thought fantastic, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you got to be like a bit of a psycho to say, oh, I've got to get more and more and more and all that some shit.
You can't let that stuff get into your head, man. That's how the demons creep into your soul.
No.
That shit gets into your head. Hey, look at me, man. People like me. Wow. People are thinking about me. Think about all the women just thinking about me. All the guys want to be like me. Holy shit, man. Damn. And that shit creeps up inside of you. And then you get lost. Just like Christopher Lee says, that's how they creep up inside your body. The needful things. Like, to become this demigod, bullshit demigod, And that's why some of them, when they get cast out like a leper, that's why some of them, they cannot handle it. And they off themselves, I believe. Because they cannot continue on. Now that they lost their status, because they sold their soul, and they don't have their soul back, and now the only thing for them to do is to go and pass on to another world and see what happens there. And I think they're stuck in a limbo. Probably the same place Robin Williams is. You got to remember, Robin Williams was also part of that same cult. That part of that same, I know it's hard for people to believe this. It's just he wasn't speaking openly about it. But he was part of the same cult, man. That's what Hollywood is. That's controlled by these, these elitists, these powerful groups, They've been raping this world for centuries, And they still do. They still do it, So maybe I think you're right about that, because I never looked at it that way. Because I always ask myself, well, what is it that these powerful figures, these powerful clubs, these powerful secret society brotherhoods, what is it they want? We all get it. We all know that they want the control and they want the power. And they have control. They have the power. They control everything. Media, entertainment, video games, sports, news, justice system, banks, money, they control everything. So what's the next step, right? Then you ask yourself, okay, if they control everything, if they have hands on everything, so what is the next step? What's the end game, right? You got to ask yourself, well, what is the end game? What is it that they really are after?
Total dominance.
Spirit worlds. That's the next phase. But they cannot control that, I believe, because the laws of the universe forbid any human to control that. I think they will never be able to control that, man.
As you've got to be careful a little bit, but I don't know, because I have to do his initials, but you know D.I.
Dyke?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Well, he did a lot of stuff because he's not on YouTube no more because they got rid of him and stuff and all that. So he was talking about it one day about the reason why they're trying, or the elitists are trying basically get the spirit world as well. And if they can get that control, they can start controlling everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's what and he reckons that's the end game of it as well, because he brought in about the end game.
Maybe there is like angels and demons. Maybe there is like a spiritual world. The demons are the bad spirits. The angels are the good spirits. Oh. And on that other side, there's a war going on between the angels and demons, and they're fighting this war. And that's why they sometimes show up here in the physical realm to help us out, to carry us through, to guide us in these difficult times, because we are in the difficult times. And I think we're stuck right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And that's why everything so sucks. That's why everything is so bad, because we're stuck right in the middle of it. You know.
And a shitstorm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh.
Engineer says, like Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, Michael Jackson, and other people, these deaths were horrific. Even you can see on their relative faces. Crazy world. Interesting thing about Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington, they both killed each other in the same month, July, in 2017. Or was it the same month? I know it was the same year. Same year, 2017. And they both hanged themselves. And they were very good friends. They even did a duet. They used to sing together on the concerts. So like they knew each other. Chris and Chester, they knew each other. But if you look at their families, they had a good family. They had no problems. They had money. I mean, life was good. But something started happening to them. Is it some kind of a possession? Because here's the thing. We do not know where Chris goes when he's not singing, which clubs he goes to whom he hangs out with, what kind of ritual did he do, or what kind of rituals did Chester do. That's why it's secret. That's why it's private. But we don't know. We don't know that. I'm just guessing. But how do we not know that maybe that has a big effect on them doing these rituals, right? Whatever the rituals are, whatever you got to do, and they disagree with that. They started awakening the good spirit, like, hey, man, I'm not about this. I'm singing good songs over here, promoting positivity, and I'm doing this other fucking thing, promoting negativity behind closed fucking doors. This is not right. I cannot go on like this. I shouldn't be able to go on fucking like this. I'm just guessing. I don't know. But something definitely has an effect on these deaths in a similar kind of a way. There's a certain pattern there, right? Yeah. If you connect these deaths, there's a certain pattern, and you can sense it. You can see it,
And with all effects, you have a cause. Cause and effect. There's always something going on.
Exactly. And it makes me wonder, man. I wonder about this kind of stuff, Again, getting the proof.
Yeah.
It's impossible. How are you going to get it?
Yeah.
You have no access to any of this stuff because they control all of it.
Yeah.
And they're going to put your ass in jail before you get to see any of that shit. Or they'll just kill you and make it look like a fucking accident. He wrapped himself around the tree, went to the nightclub, and got drunk. And
Bob's his uncle.
And people will believe that story. People are going to believe that story and going to move on. They'll move on. And they'll take that story and woohoo! Yeah, that's what happened.
It's like, what's her name? Whitney Houston. That was kind of unexpected. And then her daughter goes on. Was it a year later or something? Or a couple of years later? She ended up in the same position as her mum.
Yeah.
In the bathtub. And it's like, you kind of think to yourself, Well, is this a coincidence, or was there something actually involving at this point?
There's too much coincidence. I look at all of these cases. Okay, let's look at me as a Sherlock Holmes, and I'm investigating, and I'm looking at it as a Sherlock Holmes. I'm investigating, and when I look at all of these cases, they all have a similar pattern. When it comes to celebrities, they all have a similar pattern. Even Kobe Bryant, like, why would he take his daughter and a bunch of other people to try to hurry up on some kind of a training, game or whatever? There's like a exhibition training game or something in the middle of the fog, thick fog in California, zero visibility. Why not take a limo? Why go into a freaking helicopter and take that risk? There's too much pattern here that doesn't make any sense. Because I can't think of anybody in their right state of mind, against their will, that would do such a thing, to go into a helicopter and fly. It almost sounds as if they were like kidnapped and they were put inside the helicopter, and then helicopter was operated by whatever, and then because you can operate helicopters remotely. Hello, knock knock, everybody, wake the fuck up. We have this technology. This technology has been around for fucking years. You can operate helicopters, even Black Hawks, remotely. So my whole thing is this: none of these fucking cases, even Tupac Shakur, makes no fucking sense. And there's a certain pattern, even with Biggie. There's a certain pattern here that doesn't add up. But I see the pattern, and the pattern points out to these elitists, to these powerful ones, that they might have a hand into it. I would bet, if I'm going to bet my money, I would bet my money, all of it, that these elitists have so much to do with this. So much. What's up, Pickle Ninja? Yeah, go ahead.
It was that comedian, the one who was talking about the Illuminati, and next minute he was found dead or something in his hotel room, I think it was. It was he was a bit like Dave Chappelle, and I think that's what Dave Chappelle talks about it as well, about the Illuminati on his sort of talk shows.
Yeah. Hey, Pickle Ninja, man, good to see you, bro.
With Dave Chappelle, they're trying to sort of kill him off, not kill him off, but they're trying to get rid of his shows, trying to say political correctness and stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Pickle Ninja, man, I'm glad everything's good. I know there's nothing exciting to be online about lately. I know. Until the Forbidden West, I guess. But yeah, man, there's so many cases. Even the Anthony Bourdain, Anthony Bourdain, he did documentaries for CNN about the food. And he was a very happy guy. And he was married to a very famous actress, Italian actress. That's also a daughter of a very famous Italian director who might be connected to Illuminati, most likely. And again, they found him hanged. They're all hanged. Why? More or less likely, either drugs or hanged, or some freak of accident. There's a pattern here, and nobody wants to talk about this pattern because they're afraid. Look, you would have to be brain dead. Or afraid. Two things. Afraid, number one, most likely, 100% you're afraid. Your heart rate goes up. You got panic attacks. You can't catch your breath because you're afraid what they will do to you if you talk about this. And number two is that you want to talk about it, but again, you have to make up lies, because the only way you can move through in this life without losing a job, without losing your career, is by saying, yes, that's the official story, and that's what really happened. I need to move on. Yes, that's the official story. That's what happened. Moving on. Mm-hmm. And you go with the first one because you're afraid. you will lose everything, because you will lose everything. They will threaten you. They will make a living hell for you and your family and everyone you know, your friends. And there's a lot for you to lose. And they operate on fear. See, this is what people need to remember. They control everything based on fear. The fear is their biggest tool. It's their greatest weapon, is the fear. Put the fear into them. Squeeze them and fucking control them. And guess what? They got us, man. They fucking got us real good. Because I know there's a lot of afraid motherfuckers out there. I know it. I don't have fucking anybody to fucking tell me. I know it. Fear. I can smell the fear of people. I don't want to lose what I have. Ooh. And that's what they're banking on, is your fucking fear. Your fear. And they can smell it, the stink of fear you have. That's what they want. That's where they want you to be. The fear. That's what they're using. In my humble opinion, I wasn't born 5 minutes ago. I didn't cut my umbilical cord just right now. You know, I know this shit, man. How do I know this? Because they tried to approach me. And I told them, suck on it. How many holes you have? Suck on it. Or shove it in. I said no. I'm so glad I said no.
I mean, what's your thoughts on DC?
DC?
Yeah, that's his
that?
initials I'm giving out. I don't know if I can say David Carradine.
The guy from Hollywood. He was a singer. He was a singer.
No, David Carradine. He was the one from Kung Fu. They found him in his closet.
Yeah. Kill Bill.
Kill Bill, yeah.
Well, he was hanged, right? Here we go again.
And his hands were tied behind his back as well. So
yeah,
it's like, it kind of feels like there's some foul play in that.
Like a ritual. It's almost like the way they're executing their members. It's by using these rituals that they sworn in. Okay, this is what you're sworn in. And if you talk about this, and that, you know we have to do this. It's kind of like mafia. It's like La Cosa Nostra. It's like La Cosa Nostra, right? You know, if you do this, and that, we got to whack you. Right? So it's kind of the same thing. When you become part of their brotherhood, right? Part of becoming a member. When you become a member, right? They tell you, okay, if you do what we tell you to do, everything will be great. You're going to live a good life. We'll even honor you when you die, for natural causes. Your family will be set for life. They don't have to worry about anything. But if you start talking against us, if you start not doing what we tell you to do, then you broke the oath. And when you break the oath, based on what you sworn in, we have to execute you with this style. By using the rope, the noose, tying you up and choking you to death. There's a pattern here, man. There is a fucking pattern here when you look at all these cases. And you can, any detective, you don't have to be a super Sherlock Holmes to see this shit. Any detective, you look at this shit and you say, there's a goddamn pattern here that's going on. You know, somebody's behind this fucking pattern. Some big, powerful, shadowy group out there sitting on top of the fucking pyramid. You know, they're executing these things for those members who disobey. You know.
I mean, it's like that WWE, for instance. I mean, as much as I love wrestling and I like all that kind of stuff, and we know it's all storylines and stuff, but then what really got me was it? I think it was 2007 when OCB supposed to have killed his family, murdered his family. His son did the crossface on his son, and then hanged himself with the weights and stuff. To be honest, I don't buy that story at all. Yeah. Oh, Chris Benoit I'm talking about, but if anyone doesn't know and all that, but
yeah. By the way, Pickle Ninja, we're not talking about that. We're talking about a connection between the spirits and the elitists, you know, the secret societies, and that the question is, what is it that secret society wants? And the only thing we can think of is the spirit, to control the spirit world. You know, we came to that conclusion while we were talking about the spirits, because we started this podcast an hour ago. And if you watch it from the beginning, you will understand how we got to this point. It's really about the spirits world, and we were talking about the spirits, and what is it that these powerful elitists, which they already control everything, right? They already control it. We know, you know, I know, everybody knows. It's just a matter of admitting it. We know that they control everything. So what's the next step? And we came to conclusion they want to control the spirit worlds. They want more of bad spirits because that's what they believe in. The demon, the Lucifer, the Luciferians, right? They believe in that kind of stuff. So they have more of a negative energy approach. They want to see everything naughty. You see all the sexuality, all this craziness, right? All the naughty shit you see. Even on Twitter, they're just bombarding you with all this negative shit, right? Yeah. Seeing these naked chicks running around, spreading their asses, spreading their fucking this and that, swallowing this, swallowing that, because that's what they want. That's what they're all about. They're about that. They're about perversion, perverts, and negativity. And they want to worship their demons. But we also believe that there is a yin and yang in the universe, in the spirits world. We believe that there's the demons and there's the angels. And the angels and demons, there's a war going on. The war's been going on for centuries. And that war is still going on right now, between the good spirits, which are angels, and the bad spirits, which are demons. You know, and sadly, we're controlled by the demons in this world. I hate to fucking break it to everybody, you know, and that's the sad part. But yeah, there's a good possibility I might get a strike on this one. there's a good plausible possibility. Yeah, Pickle Ninja, I might get a strike on this one.
But I was thinking, right, if, I just sent you like a picture on Twitter. Now, tell me, see if you can see anything out of the usual. Now, this is that wrestler Triple H, right? And he's on. I've set like a little picture of it, but see if you can see anything that looks really, not, I wouldn't say demonic or anything, but. And I picked up on it a couple of years going back. Even though I watched WWE and stuff, like I came across it and I thought, oh, this is a bit strange.
Yeah, I do notice it. I do notice him, you know, it's almost like representation of the deaf, you know, like the deaf coming in to collect something, you know. It's almost like that's what it looks like to me when he holds that, whatever that spear is. Oh. That dark spear, and then the logo of WWE, you know, has its significant pyramid-shaped, significant icon to it. But yeah, and then you see the skull down in his crotch. Yeah. Definitely represents the negativity. You can label it whatever you want to label it, but it doesn't represent anything positive. It represents negativity, you know. Hail the Lucifer! Hail the Lucifer! Lucifer! Lucifer!
If you look on the actual symbol as well on his pants, doesn't it not look like the Iron Cross from the German?
Yes, and you see a skull with the wings. Those are the demons. Yeah. You know, the demons, and then you got angels on the other side, which are not being presented here. And he's wearing a dark shorts. With the skull and the wings, black wings, which are the demons, you know. Oh yeah, this is all Luciferian. You know, if you read about Luciferian, they even have a Luciferian religion, as a matter of fact, out there. If you read about Luciferians and demons, this is all straight out of that book, you know, Luciferian book. And you see this sign, right? You know what this is. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I cannot talk about it too much because I'll definitely get a strike for sure. But maybe I won't because they like this shit. They like this kind of shit.
I've seen a lot of people going around doing that symbol sort of thing.
I think they love this shit.
And they're really
I think this will
strange
save me from strike.
things. Yeah.
This is gonna save me.
But recently, WWE came up because they got that NXT, which is that other WWE brand, and they wanted to change that character, his name,
Oh, really?
and they called him Gunther. And they had to change that name because everyone started like typing in. It came up with a Nazi German bloke from Nazi Germany back in, I think it was like the 1943s, who would go around exterminating people. So they had to quickly change it, and they said a lot of people were upset by it.
Well, absolutely. Sure. You got to remember, when it comes to these elites, and when it comes to, worshiping what they're worshiping, and what they're worshiping, it's nothing positive. People got to remember this. Yes, your life will be good for you, personally for you, but at what cost? The cost of selling your soul and then lying to people, lying to billions of people, using billions of people, laughing at billions of people, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're mocking and laughing at these idiots who follow you, these idiots who worship you. You're laughing your ass off. Basically, that's how they look at it. Like, look at these I don't know what words they use. I can only imagine the kind of fucking low-level words they use to describe us. Look at these peasants, these sheeps, these meh. Go make my food. Go clean my windows. Go suck my you-know-what. Go suck my toes. They thrive on that shit, man. They thrive. And the only reason they're able to do this, and here's the sad part. Here's the sad fucking part. The only reason that they're able to do this kind of shit is because we, 8 billion of us, fucking allow them to do it. Fucking allow them to do it. If you don't allow them to do it, that's it. End game. What the fuck they gonna do? Wipe all of us out, 8 billion of us? Who the fuck's gonna run their machines? Who's gonna fucking create their fucking beds? Who's gonna put a food on their fucking table? They need us, but they need us to be obedient. It's like a dominatrix thing. That's why I can't stand dominatrixes. That's as evil shit as you can fucking get. When I see a woman and she's a dominatrix, that's a fucking demon. Get the fuck out of my face. I don't want to see your fucking ugly face. Demonic motherfucker. Cunt. Cunt. Stinking ugly fuck. I wouldn't fuck you with a stolen fucking dick, you cunt. So, those are the demons. And it's like so obvious. I don't know how people cannot fucking see. Unless you're afraid. Or maybe you are into it. Maybe you really love that shit. Maybe you love that. Some people are, but I can't believe everybody does.
No.
Some people are just afraid. They're afraid because they don't want to lose what they have. But here's what they don't understand. You being afraid, you're leaving a very shitty future for your kids. You're leaving a very fucked up, shitty future for your kids because you're too afraid to speak up. You're too afraid to say something. Yeah.
But that's about the spirit world, though.
Yeah, go ahead. Go back.
Oh, no, so I was going to say it was for the last bit then. But I was going to
ask you something. Actually, I don't mean to cut you off, but
go on.
what was I want you to tell me this experience. What was your very first, like very, very first or second or third or fourth experience with using that box for the very first time, that spirit box?
I felt exhausted, to be honest. It kind of felt something draining me a little bit. And I went to this like shop where they sell crystals and stuff, a lot of crystals. And I asked them about it, and they reckon basically when you delve into stuff like this, a lot of spirits, they use your energy as well. And sometimes they can actually energize you, or they can actually take the energy from you if you allow it to and all that. But they said most of the time, they said you should be having a protective spell sort of crystal to protect you always. I've never had crystals at all. I've got one over there, but I never use it. Like, I got like a little white crystal, and it cost me, I think, like 38 quid. And she said when you do like these like things, she said to say a prayer before you sort of do it, and then like say to them that you just want good spirits here with us and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's just one of those things that the second time, third time, I was like sort of tired doing it. But obviously I did it for like an hour and a half or something. But they reckon not to do it as much.
You shouldn't,
Oh.
That's the thing, that's why I said, you got to be careful with these spirit boxes because, people got to remember it's not fun and games. It's not a toy because you're connecting to the other side.
Yeah.
You got to remember, no one can protect you when you start opening that door to another side. There's no one can do anything to help you. No one can protect you. You're on your own, basically. You're stepping in those kind of waters, and you're on your own, basically. So you really got to know what you're doing, and you really got to know exactly what you're saying to these spirits. If you give them a green light, they will come in, and you're stuck with them. You're not gonna be alone anymore. You're gonna have a bunch of spirits living in your house. It's gonna be a great sleepless nights every night for you. It's not gonna be fun. So you got to be very careful about like how you approach it and how you do it. This is why I never wanted to mess with it. To be honest.
But I mean, like, since I've been doing it afterwards, I've started getting to that routine where I've not been exhausted. I think it's because I've been getting used to it, and sometimes you have to get used to doing the spirits worlds and all that in that way. But what I've been doing as well is I've not been doing it for very long. So I've sort of been doing it for maybe 20, 30 minutes, and that's it. And then just close up the entire connection between our world and the spirit world. And then say thank you and all that.
Yeah, the last time we did it, we had a very articulate spirit.
Yeah.
Was it Timmy and Tommy or something?
Yeah, Tommy and I think it was Tim or someone.
Tim.
Yeah, I've had Tim come through before on a couple of my previous episodes. I don't know if it's the same one or if it's a different spirit.
And it's interesting, people need to understand, need to watch that, is that the spirit knew already that there's a guy named Jones inside the chat room. And we don't know who this guy Jones is. It could be a spirit, right? You don't know, because they can easily use electrical, frequencies to type in certain codes and words, right? Just the way they communicate with us. But he knew, this guy Tim said, there's the guy Jones in there. He already knew who was in the chat room. And then you ask him about me, whether I'm alive or not. Said, is Mr. 4K spirit there? And he said, no. He already knew who I was. It is just terrifying how much they know. Like, you really cannot lie. You cannot BS them. You cannot tell them bullshit because they'll get angry. You really have to be just straight up honest with them, and you got to be respectful, but you also got to be careful what you say. It's a very thin line, and we did it last time when we did this podcast. We did that. Yeah,
yesterday's podcast.
Yeah.
Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday.
And you put it out there on your channel too. People can watch it.
Yeah. Because what I do, I like to do sort of clips as well, highlights for the show
like
as well.
Like shorts.
Yeah, short.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, a friend of mine was saying, watching those 8-hour podcasts, I couldn't watch it myself, but that's just him and stuff, don't want to watch it all.
Yeah.
But I said what I'll be doing is I'll be doing, like, little highlights from the show, and then just putting little clips out there and stuff as well. So people can watch, like, maybe 2-3 minute clips or something, and all the best episodes of it. It might get more people into watching them for long sessions.
Pickle Ninja says, is that why I do not sleep at night and have too many demons? I hate to break it to you, Pickle Ninja. That's probably it, man. I think you've been possessed a long time ago, bro. It's too late now. Sorry. It is what your weakness is, women, man. Pickle Ninja. You like certain kind of women, and they got you, bro. You sold your soul to them. It's over.
Actually, someone on my YouTube channel yesterday, sort of sent me a message because he said he's not signed up to your thing for it. Was it the subscribers or something?
The members? Yeah, members. I saw the guy, and I appreciate his kind comment. And I told him, like, I like my team. I like what I have.
Yeah.
And I said, we all got to be positive. We all got to respect each other. Because that little segment was about bullying, cyberbullying. And I told him, look, man, I respect everyone, but it has to be a two-way street. It cannot be a one-way street, I don't want people to think I'm some kind of a fool or some kind of an idiot. Like, I can read people. I can tell when somebody's trying to soften me up or somebody's trying to manipulate me, think I'm some kind of a fool. Like, you have to be respectful.
Yeah.
That's what I said to electrical engineer, and he understood, and he became a member. It's a two-way street. That's how it works, and that's how it always should be. And yes, I condemn cyberbullying. I condemn any kind of discrimination against anyone, disabilities. So that goes without saying. Obviously, I condemn that shit. We all have to be respectful. We can all have different opinions, which we will. And I think there shouldn't be any reason why we can't respect each other's opinions in a nice way. Not by using the F word or the C word or the B word, like biatch and all that shit. We can be respectful. You don't have to use a foul language. You don't have to raise a voice. You don't have to do that. You don't have to. I can, like yesterday, I told you when we were talking about who it was, something about. We had a conversation about something, and I disagreed with you about something. I can't remember what it was. But I did it in a respectful way. I said, well, I disagree on that, and here's why I disagree on that. But I respect your opinion.
Yeah.
It was something about, I can't remember exactly what it was. Yeah. About the whole thunder, what you call it, Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder, about that character and all that.
And I said he should be able to play that character. And you said, maybe, but I respected your opinion,
And I respect yours as well.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is this. Even when Demon was here, the microbiologist, he had his opinion, and I respected it, and I had my opinion. I think we all can get along as long as we respect each other. You can have a healthy dialogue if the one side that's saying screw you, yelling at you, well, that's not going to accomplish anything. The only way that things get accomplished, if we can all sit down, bring our voices down, and have a healthy conversation to respect each other. If we can't do that, well, that's why it's always going to be a conflict. There's always going to be a division. There's always going to be a hatred, because you're fueling that fire of hatred. You're spewing that shit of hatred, and that shit, like flames, it keeps, growing. So the best thing to do is to avoid that. Let's have a respectful conversation. Let's see if we can find the common ground, the middle ground somewhere. We can help each other. Let me give you what you want, and you give me what I want, and let's all live happily ever after. Let's make it fair and square. But apparently that's a very difficult thing to do for people because of ego.
Yeah.
A lot of ego out there. A lot of people have egos, and their egos is the biggest problem that's stopping the conversations to be more diplomatic or to be more, respectful because of an ego.
Yeah.
Who are you? Look at me. Why are you even talking to me? That kind of.
They're trying to
BS.
down look on people and all that shit.
This is the worst enemy that a human can have.
Oh.
And they're so blinded by it, they cannot see it, man. Like they can't help themselves. Like the ego is controlling them, shifting the gears to the 6th gear, to the 12th gear, full throttle, controlling that person, Unfortunately,
Yeah, I mean, we live in a world where everyone's opinions sometimes outweigh for some people, and they don't want to sort of say to them, "Oh, you're wrong," or "You're right" in that kind of stuff. There's a lot of egotistic stuff going on nowadays.
Yeah, man, that's one of the issues, one of the problems, and like this whole situation with Ukraine and Russia. I mean, what kind of conversations you gonna have? When this guy, ego will not stop. And he says, that's what I want. I want that. And he tells him, you cannot have that. Here's the reason why you cannot have that. It's a sovereign country and da-da-da-da-da. And then where's it going to lead to? I don't know. But again, I'm pretty sure Mr. P, let's call him P, VP, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Vlad P, has a large ego. Of course, this guy was raised by a large ego. He wants to have this big USSR back again, this most powerful USSR. That's his wet dream before he dies. That's what he wants. And of course, he wants to have that part of Ukraine. He wants to have the entire Ukraine so he can dictate to Europe, he can dictate to the Balkans and dictate to West and NATO. He wants to have that upper hand.
Wants to become a superpower.
And I hate to break the news to people, but this guy will do it, but he will do it on his terms.
Yeah.
And that's how it's going to be. Whether it's some kind of a false flag or some kind of cyber attack or whatever it might be, he will do it surgically on his terms. It's not going to play out the way people think it's going to play out. It's going to play out in a different kind of a way. Slowly, but gradually, you're not going to see it coming, basically. Like everything else, you don't see it coming. But he's going to do it on his terms. You know. And he will not give up. Because he wants to control that part of that. It's a big chunk of land, you know, and he wants to control it. It's in border of Belarus, and, you know, it's a border of, other countries, Romania, Bulgaria, Belarus, you know, he wants that. That's connected to Serbia, easy access to Serbia as well. You know, listen, he wants that shit, man. He wants
Maybe
to
that's the
bring it
reason why that bloke went. What's his name? That Bellic bloke you were on about the other day. Said it went to 2030, and it seemed like
Al Bielek
Yeah.
said. Here's what Al Bielek said. He originally, when he did his experiment called the Philadelphia experiment, he originally went to 2137. And in 2137, when he woke up at this hospital, because of this radiation, he had so much radiation when he was traveling to the future that they have to isolate him in this hospital. And when he woke up at this hospital, he didn't know what the hell was going on. He still thought he was in 1970s, or what was it, 1960s. He thought he was in 1960s. And they told him, no, you're not in 1960s. You are actually in 2137. And then he noticed a map of the world on this hospital bed where he was at. Some kind of strange looking map. And he asked, what's this map? What's going on here? What happened to this world? And they said to him, because geographically it was all different. Like Florida was gone, northeastern part of the United States was gone, California has split into an island, parts of UK totally gone, parts of Scotland totally gone, Ireland gone. Like the entire world has changed. And they said that before this natural disaster occurrence that happened in 2025, prior to that, between 2020 and 2025, there was a global conflict that happened between East and West alliances. And they used the specific word alliances. I don't know if East alliances means China, Russia, North Korea, whatever. And then the West alliances, Europe, NATO, United States, Canada, right? Australia, UK. So they said there was a global conflict between East and West. And they said that the population has depopulated to 300 million instead of 8 billion to 300 million.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a big
Yeah.
fucking thing.
Yeah.
Unless there was some nuclear war bombs going off.
Something like that, but this conflict has created a lot of changes in the climate, which also has affected population. And there was also, they said, some kind of pandemic too, and diseases. People died, and whatever.
And shit.
Animosity, no food, no this, no that. It was just pretty bad.
No.
And they said in 2137 there was no governments. There was no world leaders. There was no army. There was basically a system put into place by the AIs. And these AIs and these robots, they said they're like not of this world, basically.
So
They're put by someone
aliens.
else, probably. And it was strange. But you know what? He could, because he did clearly say 2020, between 2020 and 2025, in between 2020 and 2025, there will be a global conflict between East and West alliances. And what are we seeing now in 2022?
Yeah, conflict between them.
Yeah, man. So I'm not saying that he's right. I'm simply telling you what he said. You know what I mean. Don't come after me. I'm just a messenger for fuck's sake. You know.
The man who was that traveled through time and space.
Al Bielek. Yeah.
Yeah. In
And everything.
1990.
Yeah, everything I say, you guys, you can Google this, you can research this. You know, I'm not making this up. This is all on the Google public domain. You can look it up. You can look at the map.
Yes,
Even
on
you, right?
Wikipedia.
You can look it up too. You can see it, Anthony, if you want. It's all there. You know. Because I know people say, "Oh, he's full of shit." Well, Google it, man. Find out if I'm full of shit. You know.
Oh.
Shit.
Ooh, so there's a man who claims he's from 2030 reportedly passed a lie detector test and made a series of startling predictions for humanity. That's quite.
Is that the same
interesting.
guy, Al Bielek?
I'm not too sure. No, it might be actually.
You gotta
No,
type
it's-
in.
No, this is on the Sun.
You gotta type in Al Bielek, Philadelphia experiment.
Some young lad or something. Some young kids. That's probably not him.
No, that's probably the fakers. They want money. They want attention.
Yeah.
This guy, Al Bielek's very articulate, man. Al Bielek, Beilk, Bielek, Al Bielek, Philadelphia experiment. He was part of the that ship that was used in Philadelphia experiment. They were trying to experiment to see if they can disappear, if they can make ship invisible to the enemies, so they can infiltrate the Japanese and you know, because Pacific Theater, we were fighting Japanese, so they were trying to see if we can make the ship disappear. But while they were doing that, while they were experimenting, they also figure out a way how to travel through time, through space. There was a lot of freaks of accidents that happened. Nikola Tesla was involved in that ship, Eldridge. The name of that ship is Eldridge. And you can look it up. It was on that shipyard in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, the Navy shipyard. Everything I tell you here, guys, it's 100%. No bullshit, man.
Yeah, I'm just looking now, and it's definitely all on there.
Yeah,
So
it's all there.
it's not bullshit, wasn't it?
No, it's all like I tell people, don't come after me. I'm just a messenger. It's all in the public domains. It's there. Now, whether you want to believe it or don't believe it, that's a whole different story. You know.
Yeah. That's
But-
what you call democracy.
Yeah, but we can't help but not look at the connection here. He clearly predicted 2020-25 global conflict between East and West. And what are we seeing right now? Come on, man. It's
Yeah,
pretty
conflict.
fucking articulate. It's pretty fucking articulate, though. Is it scary? Fucking A. Fucking A, it's scary. Look at my eyes. It's fucking scary. You fucking bet your ass.
Now, so, you know who else does that eyes thing? as well? I'll tell you.
Blue, they're
remind-
blue. Yeah.
No, you remind me of that bloody film actor, the one from
Yeah,
Blade
yeah.
Runner. And Tango
Yeah.
and Cash, the one that gets with that grenade down his pants.
Yeah. You talking about my mother? What about my mother?
I'll tell you what, he's a fucking brilliant actor he is. as
Everyone
well.
tells me I'm a Brian James. And I do look like him a little bit, though. I definitely do.
With the beard.
With
Got
the beard. Yeah,
don't
I'm
you?
definitely Brian James. And look, even my size, look at me. I might be his son. maybe they mixed me up in the incubator, whatever, in
the gene pool.
yeah, dude, they mixed me up in San Francisco or something. I was there and they shipped me off to Europe, and that I came back here. That's why I don't have an accent because of that. So maybe I am. I need to do a test. I need to test myself more properly. Get a second opinion. I got to contact the Brian James family. Say, hey, I think I'm part of you guys. I think I definitely fit in, bro. I was like, come on in.
I was just saying, is that a peach you're eating there?
Yeah, I'm eating it.
It
looks like a demon. Look, he has two eyes. Look at it.
Oh, yeah. Because I thought
like
it was
a
an
ghost.
apple for a minute, but then I thought, a minute, it's too red for that kind of stuff, or orangey. So I thought it was a peach.
Look at that. It has eyes like a dragon. Look at it. Red
Demons.
eyes like a demon, like a ghost. Oh. You see me now, don't you, boy? You see me now.
What about that woman who said she found Jesus Christ in a piece of toast that she had and all that?
Hey,
That was
listen.
weird.
I'll put it this way. I'll leave everything on the table. Because I don't know. Okay? It's not like I was given all the documentations when I was born. Hey, this is what's really going on. No one fucking knows, man. We're all just guessing, dude. We're all just rolling the dice every fucking day, man. We're all just rolling the dice. No one really has any clue.
No.
Really, we're all just like a chickens without our heads, man, just running around, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, or something like that. Because it's really, really bizarre, man. We're all guessing. Why did that volcano erupted? We don't know. Why are we hearing these noises? We don't know. There's so much we don't know. What's with the spirits? We don't know. Why they're here? We don't know. What the aliens want? We don't know. Why they're here? We don't know. Why there's so many Sasquatches out there? We don't know. Why there's an underground creatures? They look like reptilians. What do they want? Are they feeding on humans? We don't know. Just don't go to fucking forest. Don't go to the caves, so you'll be all right, for fuck's sake. Why do we have the dog man that looks like half human, half dog with 2 legs, bipedal? We don't know. There's so much we don't fucking know. And that's just scared the shit out of everybody. Then it makes you wonder, who puts us on this planet? Why are we here? Somebody put us here. Who did it? How those pyramids were built? Even today, we don't have the technology to build that shit. We don't know. We don't know. There's a whole lot of shit we don't know, man. There's a whole lot of fucking shit we don't know. Amnesia. Total amnesia, man. If you think about it, really, we really don't know.
Actually, that's a great game as well, Amnesia. Scary as
Amnesia,
fuck.
yeah.
It was
But you
slender,
know
man.
what? You can't live a life scared. Because listen, man. It's okay. We're all going to die. But while I'm living right now, I'll enjoy it. I'll worry about it when the time comes for me to pass on. But for right now, we should enjoy it.
Yeah.
People got to stop living in fear. You're not supposed to live in fear. You're supposed to live your life, whatever it is. It just, when it ends, it ends. Trust me, you're not going to even know that it fucking ended until you get to the spirit world. And oh, fuck, what?
I was saying to my cousin tonight, to be honest, I don't care if I'm not here tomorrow, to be honest. I mean, I'm 34 years old now, and I feel like I've been here already for a whole lifetime of my life here.
That's good, But we shouldn't want to have answers for everything. Sometimes you can't have all the answers. And what kind of world that would be if you knew all the answers? I mean, what kind of universe that would be if it gives its creation all the answers? So that the creation can now use the same thing against the universe. That's the laws of the universe. They will never allow that to happen. They will correct that mistake. How do they correct that mistake? They blow up fucking universes. You think they're gonna give a shit about this little planet and everything in it? They'll wipe us out like we never existed, like they did dinosaurs. But you have to respect that higher power. That's what we're talking. We were grateful for this for this planet. We're grateful that I can eat this. We're grateful that we can have this experience, you know. And we appreciate this experience. But people trying to find the answers, oh, you're never going to find the answers. Kiss my hairy ass. Kiss my Brian James hairy ass. You're never going to fucking find the answers. That's a guaranteed. I'll put my money on it right now. Never going to find it. You're just wasting your damn time. You can entertain yourself if you want, but you're never going to find the answers. Because you were never meant to. We as humans were never meant to get all the answers, you know. Yeah.
I was thinking, because the other day and all that, do you live by yourself or do you have people come over, like friends and all that?
I do have my brother come over. I do have my nieces and brothers and come over, and they bring some stuff. My nieces bring some stuff, like this thing right here, called
I thought you were
Love.
going to whip out your third leg for me. And
No, she brought this thing called Love. She made this for me called Love. She brought
beautiful.
it. Yeah. She brought it, and I keep it here with me in the office. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
You know, it's just I don't advertise my private life. You know,
Yeah, that's
people ask me, I said, because that's like Keanu Reeves. I choose it to keep it that way. Like Tom Hardy, he chose to keep it that way. You know, and I choose to keep it private. That's just my choice. And if people don't like it, well then they can lick my hairy asshole. You know,
No, 'cause
and
I was saying,
my hairy balls too. While they're
oh yeah, that's it. I was just saying because when we were on the live stream the other day, I saw you waving to someone on the camera or so off the camera.
No, that was just me adjusting something on my television here. I got this
okay.
big 32-inch BenQ, and I was just
cool.
adjusting something. I was adjusting it, and I was doing this, and I was like,
Okay.
it didn't kind of fit. Like when I was looking at the picture, I couldn't see it properly because I was looking at the chat. On this side, I was like looking at the chat, and I was shaking my head. I couldn't believe what people were writing, and I said, "Look at this clown," you know. And then I was like adjusting it, my brightness. That's why I wear those glasses, because sometimes the brightness too much for me.
Too much.
Yeah, on it. And that's the only reason I did that, because I have this huge BenQ 32-inch monitor, and that's where my chat room is, on this side over here. And then on this side over here, it's my camera. And I have to look at the chat room to see what's going on, so I look at this way. And sometimes I'll just go, like, you know, like I don't want to say it, because then they'll get angry, but I'll just turn my head like,
Yeah.
I can't believe what people are saying in the fucking chat room. Like some guy said something stupid the other day. I was like,
Sometimes you get toxic shit in there as well.
yeah, and that's how I am. Like I have this whole Italian thing. You know, I'm like, you know.
Yeah. It's like sometimes when I turn my mic off for some reason, and I'm sort of like, because I have my brothers coming and stuff, and they annoying as fuck. And I usually turn the mic off, and I'm like this, like over there to them, and I point my finger at them.
But I think I might have somebody in that cabinet. In that you know, that cold cabinet, man. I don't know, man. But nothing weird has happened so far, so I don't know.
Don't tell me her name's not Hillary, is it?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, though, she wasn't too bad looking for like when she was younger.
Oh yeah,
She's pretty good looking.
you gotta remember, man. Even Queen Elizabeth when she was younger, man. You know what I mean? But you get old, you know, you're old, and this is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
You're only at your best when you're young.
Yeah.
Look at Pamela Anderson. She looks like she came out of the trailer trash, you know. She's old, you know. All the drugs and shit she's been taking, now it's like all the plastic surgeries and Botox, you know. You know, nothing can save that shit. When you're old, you're old. You're rotten. You're rotten. Rotten and old. Rotten. Maybe some people love rotten shit, and just hope maybe some chicks will love that rotten shit. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You can only hope.
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
But you see, that's the thing. You know, you don't know how women perceive you. We have this idea that the women want six-pack, tight chest, 24-inch ding-dong, you know. That's what the porn wants. That's what the porn wants you to think. But in reality, women have different likes, different preferences. They might like me for whatever reason, whatever the way I talk, maybe my eyes, whatever it might be. They might like you for your intelligence and the way you are and how you talk, and they find it very attractive. So every woman's different. Every woman has a different preferences. But according to Hollywood, according to this porno shit, you gotta look like Brad Pitt. You gotta have fucking like Chris Hemsworth. You gotta have the fucking six pack, tight chest. You gotta be this fucking guy, you know. That's according to these Hollyweirds, you know. But the beauty lies within you as your soul, your spirit, you know, because that's where the love comes from. It's two spirits. It's not a physical attraction. It's really a spiritual attraction. Physical attraction, it's a pleasure. It's just a pleasure. It means you don't love that person. You just want to fuck that person. There's a difference. Let me reiterate that again. You want to fuck that person. You don't love that person. You just want to fuck it for the pleasure, leisure, for the pleasure.
Oh.
Love, it's love, like spiritual love. You know, when you truly connect two spirits, and you love each other, that's the difference. There's a huge difference, and I hate when people mix. I know it's a Valentine tomorrow. Happy Valentine's to all of you out there.
Same here as well.
Yeah, all the single people, all the single women.
Yeah, we're all lonely bastards.
Happy Valentine's. So, look, there's a big difference between a pleasure and love. Love is two spirits and they love each other. They can't live without each other. They love each other. They can't wait to see each other. They can't wait to talk to each other again. It's spiritually connected. Sure, sex, it's a, you know, bonus. It's not important, but it's a bonus. It comes with it, you know. But that's what love is about, the spirituality. Then you start a family with that person. You have kids with that person, and then you keep growing, evolving the experiences, and you cherish it for your entire life. Right? That's love. That's what love's supposed to be. Pleasure is just a pleasure. I want to eat this apple, not because I love this apple, because I fucking have a pleasure to eat it. Same way you have a pleasure to fuck that hot blonde, you know, or to fuck that hot, whatever, 10. You know, 10 meaning the ratio of how hot she is. Not her age, but the ratio of how hot she is, right? In a scale of 1 to 10, she's a 10, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for example, let's use Samantha Fox. Samantha Fox, to me, back in the days, in a scale 1 to 10, to me, she was a 10 on that scale.
Oh, Samuel.
And Samantha Fox, can I show her photos here? I don't think I can.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. But, I mean, YouTube would get probably a bit funny about that.
Yeah.
But
you
you
know
can
how
show
she,
me on Twitter or something
Yeah.
later or something.
but you know who I'm talking about. You're familiar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Samantha Fox. So on a
It's
scale,
about 70s and 80s, isn't it? Something like that.
because see, a lot of people don't understand what I mean when I say 10, because we're living in this generation, and they think I'm probably talking about an age or some shit. They mistaking everything because they're not from the 80s and the 90s. In the 80s and the 90s, there was a scale that we use from 1 to 10. How would you grade this woman? Some women are graded 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. 10 is the highest grade, meaning she's a super goddess. She's the hottest there is out there. Everybody wants her. Like Marilyn Monroe, I would probably grade her like 10, because everybody wants her, so she's a 10. Everybody wants to have her. Everybody wants her for the pleasure, because she is, you know, ooh, Marilyn Monroe. Like, holy shit, right?
And mysterious.
And mysterious, and she's a 10, so you want her. You want the 10, you know. So it's a scale from 1 to 10, you know. You know what I mean? Hopefully that clarifies for people watching this, scratching their heads. I don't know. I was born in 2000. I was born in 2000. I don't know. Or I was born in 2006. What do you mean 10? Oh?
No, people still use the scale levels.
Oh, they
even,
do it.
like,
Yeah. They use the scale. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. 1 to 10. Same thing for the men. Like, how would you rate Chris Hemsworth between 1 to 10? And a lot of women would rate him 10 because he's so attractive. He's so, you know, great body, and that's what they're looking for. For a pleasure. For a pleasure. You know, they might not necessarily love him, but they love the pleasure that he might give them. You know, there's a difference. That's what I'm trying to say.
And some women like Brad Pitt as well and all of that.
And they put him on a scale 1 to 10.
Yeah.
He's on the 10. Same thing with Henry Cavill. They put him on a scale to 10.
Yeah.
Because he's very attractive. He's a Superman, and he's good looking, and he's got beautiful body. So yeah, 10. They put him for 10 because every woman wants him because he's so handsome, and they want the pleasure on the Valentine's Day. That's their wet dream, to have.
It's like when I go into big screen from time to time, and I put my British accent on, which is my own accent, my own thing, because I'm from England and all that.
Yeah.
And then you get these American women saying, "My God, that is a lovely accent you've got there." And I said to them, "Well, I'm from the West Country and all that, so sort of southern accents."
I'm telling you, man, we get a lot of pussy here, man, with that accent. I'm telling you, man, they be dropping all over you, man. They love that shit, man.
Yeah, I like the American chicks as well.
Especially if you put on a suit, a tie, and some fake jewelry, gold jewelry, and you got the Aston Martin with the nice shades, with the DB11 or whatever, DB8 or DB10 Aston Martin. You're driving the convertible. Oh, yeah. Like a magnet. It'd be like...
There'd be this big fat guy sitting in it.
They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about you being fat. What they give a shit about is your accent, you fully loaded, and you got a fancy car. Be like a magnet. Trust me, they've done worse. They sucked worse for the money. And when they see you, like, oh, shit, yeah, this guy's loaded. Trust me, I've done this experiment. It works every single time. Like, they don't give a shit.
It's always about the money. That's
the thing. Fuck yeah.
And it shouldn't be to do with that, really, to be honest.
Well, that's Miami for you. That's South Beach. I've seen all kinds of shit in South Beach, man. Just laugh your ass off, dude. The gold diggers in South Beach. They should call the gold digger beach. They should fucking call that. Not a sandy beach, a gold digger. A gold digger beach, man.
Let's get your metal detector out. So here's the gold digger coming.
That's right.
The gold digger alert.
I used to manage this one place called Nikki's Beach. I kind of helped them out. My main gig was in Fort Lauderdale, but I used to also help out on the weekends. Way back in 2004, this place called the Nikki Beach. It's right on the South Beach, and it's like right on the South Beach, on the beach. It's like a outdoors, indoors kind of a club bar. And my goodness, man, you can't help yourself but walk with a heart on, dude. Like, dude, seriously, there's so much pussy there. There's like fucking crazy. All kinds of flavors from Argentina, Colombia, Mexico, Cuba, Denmark, Netherlands, Sweden, Germany, France, England, Canada. You fucking name it, dude. Midwest, West Coast, California, Pacific Northwest. It's like a big goulash of all kinds of flavors of pussy, man. It was crazy. And plus, we had Miami Dolphins players. We used to go there. Miami Heat players. We used to go there. They used to hang out. Vin Diesel had his birthday there in 2004. I saw him. He's a shorty guy. I thought he was taller, but he's a shorty guy. He's short. I mean, yes, he's built. He's ripped, but he's a short guy. He's like 5 foot something.
Jesus.
Yeah. I thought he was taller, dude. He's not tall. Not tall at all.
So it's not a midget then.
You want to see a midget? Guys, I hear me out. I know you don't believe me. I never asked for any of this experience, nor did I ever dream of coming here or traveling the world. But unfortunately, I have. I have seen Al Pacino in 1998, summer of 1998, when they were filming Any Given Sunday at the Orange Bowl Stadium, which is demolished right now in Miami. And that's where they filmed most of the football games, Black Sharks versus whatever. That was the team. And I've seen it from afar. I've seen Oliver Stone with a megaphone calling the action and this and that. And I've seen Al Pacino walking around with the headphones. He is the midget. Guys, Al Pacino is the midget. And I love Al Pacino. He's the greatest. But the guy is a midget. He's very short. I couldn't believe. I said to my friend, like, what? That's really him? I said, yeah. I said, he looks like a leprechaun. He's a midget. No, he's really short, man. He's got to be 4 foot, 4'9", or maybe 5, but 4'9", 4'8". He's very short, man. Al Pacino's very short.
Oh.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it, but when I saw Al Pacino, again, no disrespect to Al Pacino, but he's very short. That's not to say that he cannot whoop your ass. I'm sure he can whoop your ass, but he's a very short guy. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Short guy. Yeah.
Yeah, my mum was it 5'2", 5'2", and I'm not that. I mean, I'm not that tall myself. I'm around about 5'9", 5'11", give or take. So I'm not quite tall or anything, but I'm not sort of small either. So I'm just in between. I'm just myself.
Well, that's good, man. It's not about, listen, it doesn't matter. I'm just letting people know that
Yeah.
I have nothing against him being short. I mean, the guy's a legend, a living fucking legend. But I'm letting people know he's not a tall person. He's a short person, very short. Same thing with Vin Diesel, he's a very short person. Because they make him look bigger in the movies, but when you see him in real life, like, what?
It's the camera trickery.
It's a camera fucking trick, you know. Even Daniel Craig, he's not a tall guy, he's a short guy, but, you know, when you see him in real life, I mean, why is he so short? You would think he'd be taller, right? Oh. Then you find out, he's not actually. But the camera, the way they position the camera and the angle to make you look really, really big, bigger than everything.
10 foot tall.
Oh yeah. It's a trick of camera. Speaking of any given Sunday, it's today. It's gonna be Cincinnati and the Los Angeles for the Super Bowl. The two underdog teams, and whoever wins tonight doesn't matter to me. Because they're both underdogs, and I wish both of them best of luck. And whoever wins, woohoo! Great. It's good for me, good for everybody that the underdogs are winning. And Tom Brady's retired officially.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's in California. It's tonight. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a big deal here in America, you know.
What's that, American football? Or?
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, dude. Like, everything's like, you go to a shopping center, everything's cleaned. Everything's off the shelves. The beers, the drinks, the food. You can't find a damn fucking thing. Because, you know, they eat, they drink, you know, they celebrate the Super Bowl. It's a big deal, you know, here. Yeah. And it's a, you know, halftime shows are huge. Commercials are ridiculous. All kinds of funny commercials. I think Jurassic next Jurassic movie will be aired tonight. They're gonna showcase it for people to see the trailer and all that. You know.
Nice.
I think we've done our 2 hours, man. It was a nice little podcast, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good, man.
Yeah, I like doing these small little ones between you and me.
Yeah.
So that way no one interrupts us and it could be just you and me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If people want to watch more, well, I have plenty of more stuff. Watch it from yesterday, 12 hours. Watch my other podcast from the day before. I mean, there's so much I have, guys. Those videos you need to watch. All you have to do is scroll back through my video selection, and they're all there. They're not going anywhere. They're all there. Yeah.
Actually,
So-
maybe on the next podcast, I connect because I need to charge my phone up at the moment. Maybe we could do like another ghost box session, see if we can get any spirits come through, or
Absolutely, man.
we'll see if you can get any of your family members through. You don't have to say their names or anything.
Yeah.
See if there's anyone around, and if any names come up and all that for it. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. That'd be great, man. We should definitely do that next time. Absolutely. You know? And maybe I can tell them something, you know, say a certain name or something that might ring a bell, and then see what they say. Yeah, we should definitely do that. It would be kind of interesting for people to witness that.
Yeah.
And maybe they will get a grasp and better idea of that, hey, maybe this really exists. You know, what do I know? I don't know. But look, clearly the person on the other side of that dimension, it's giving all the right answers. And it's know exactly where we are and knows exactly who we are, where we're at, and how could possibly know that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we could do that. Absolutely. I would love to do it. Yeah, for sure.
And I might even, because I want to try and save it and get some laser beams, which is basically to put on the wall. And what the laser beams does, if there's anything that walks in the room or something, or if a spirit comes through, you'll see the laser beams actually slightly move if there's something within that tracking area.
That'd be great, man.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Absolutely. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to set that up. I'll talk to you. We'll set up an appointment. We'll make that happen for sure. Absolutely, man. Yeah.
And it'd be interesting for the audience as well that...
Maybe Manny Penny will ask some questions too. And I don't want to put her through that test. You know,
Yeah.
she easily gets terrified of that stuff.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that to her. You know how she is,
No.
man. Anxiety and all that. Yeah, because I don't want to force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. Obviously.
Or
You know.
maybe if there's anyone in the sort of chat room at some point when we do the live streams, if they've got any questions and they want to pass on to the spirit world, or maybe if they want to hear a name, they don't have to say the name, but maybe it can come through.
But that's why it's gonna be just me and you, because
Yeah.
I don't want anything interfering when we are contacting these spirits. I don't want some jackass or some yayo to say something. Like there's always going to be one jackass saying something. So that's why it's better if we do it like this, in this kind of confinement, where it's just you and me, and the spirit will acknowledge you and me, and then the audience can judge for themselves what they think. I think that's the best way to go about it. Because remember, we have to respect the spirits, And definitely, we should do it. Absolutely, man. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. We could do it as the Brian James special edition.
Yeah, hopefully. What about my mother? What about the turtles? Turtles. You want to see my turtle? Here it is, boy.
Yeah, he's a classic fucking film actor.
He was in everything, man. He was in every movie. And I kind of have his size. I'm tall. I mean, I think I might be his son, dude. I don't look at me, man. I'm a big, tall motherfucker. I could be his.
Yeah, you have to get in touch with him.
I need to get in touch with his family, because he passed away, right?
Oh, is he? When did he pass away? Then on that one.
I have to look into it, Brian. Let me see. Let me look it up. I know he passed away. Brian James. Okay, you want to look it up really quick?
Oh yeah. Just have a look now. Is that BRY or is that
BRY? Yeah, Brian James.
Okay.
He was also in The Fifth Element. I remember him clearly.
Oh, it's BRION.
Yeah, ION. Yeah. Brian James. It's not a Brian. It's Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, with the ON.
James.
Brian.
Owen.
Right.
So he died 7th of August, Malibu, California, United States.
Oh, I see.
1999.
What about his wife and family? Are they still alive, or
The
spouse?
Maxine James, 1965 to 1996. So he must have divorced her.
But she's still alive, right?
Yeah, I think it's
Maxine James. Well, I should definitely contact her. Maxine James. Hey, I think I might be his next of kin. That from a previous whoever he was banging. Here I am. I don't know how she would feel about that. How would she feel about meeting me? I mean, it'd be kind of strange. Like, Brian, is that you? Is that really you? Is that really you? I don't know.
Especially with the eyes as well. You got the eyes going for you. Yeah,
Is
there's
that
like
you?
the wide eyes open ones.
That's it. I'm a Brian James from now. Sorry, I'm not a 007. I'm a Brian James 007, basically.
Yeah, looking like.
I'm a 007 nemesis. Brian James. Yeah, for sure, man. I'm telling you. I think this is why Ridley Scott got interested in me. You look familiar to me, bloke. We were friends on Facebook, and I try not to bother him. The only time I got a conversation with him was when I asked him about his son Luke, and he says yes, he's working for my production, currently working on Raised with Wolves. He's doing a few episodes, etc., etc. Think about Ridley. He's a very short, cut and short. I don't want to say, kind of intimidating in a way. Like, the only thing I was able to get out of Ridley was only a few words. Like, yeah, Luke works for my company, scot-free, me and my brother, etc., working on Raised by the Wolves. Like, cut and short, and after that, I heard nothing. And people say, how could you tell that's really Ridley Scott? Because he's checkmarked by Facebook, and I saw him on the when he was doing a live stream. talking to some other guests, because you have to be part of his friends list to see that shit.
Yeah.
So I know it's him. I know it's Ridley Scott, Sir Ridley Scott. And people who don't know who that is, well, you must be born like yesterday if you don't know who Ridley Scott is.
Yeah,
Why do I mention Ridley? Because Ridley,
on that.
because Ridley worked with Brian James on the Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, yeah.
I don't know if people realize that. That's Ridley Scott worked with him, you know. So, but anyway, look, Ridley Scott, he's a legend. You know, he's 81 years old. I don't think he has to prove anything to anybody, man. He has done so many movies. You know what I mean? I mean, TV shows. And his brother with a Top Gun, Days of Thunder, Man on Fire, Crimson Tide, True Romance. I mean, fuck, man. The list goes on and on and on and on.
Oh, True Romance, yeah.
Yeah, the New World, 1492. You know that the 1492, the Conquest of the Paradise. He's done that with Armand Assante and Sigourney Weaver and that French guy, the French actor Christopher Colombo, discovering the New World. He's done that. He's done so many movies. Fuck, man. Even G.I. Jane, for fuck's sake. He's done. And then Gladiator, Black Hawk Down, Hannibal, Alien, 1979 Alien. A shitload of movies, man.
Holy shit, there's actually a TV series coming soon at Amazon, apparently. Blade Runner 2099 is in the production.
Ooh, that's going to be great. That's going to be awesome.
It's a sequel to bring the sequel to the TV series.
Can't wait for that, man. Can't wait for that.
And Ridley Scott's doing it, so that's good and all that.
Perfect. I like him, though. I like Ridley, man. He's definitely inspiration for a lot of film directors, you know. And his brother, too, obviously, what they have achieved. They really left a mark on the Hollywood and motion picture. No one can deny that, you know. So many movies. I mean, and all of his movies are different. They are very different, and they're all different. And a variety. I like that about him, that he's willing to do a variety. You know, whether he's making a movie about the samurais, the tradition of the Yakuza and in the Black Rain in Japan versus United States law enforcement and Japanese law enforcement, and then Yakuza in the middle of it, called the Black Rain. And then you find out the reason the movie is called the Black Rain. It's during the Nagasaki and Hiroshima, it rained black, you know. So there's a metaphor that he used, the Black Rain. You know, there's a lot of metaphor on all of his movies. That's what I like about Ridley Scott. Every movie he makes, the title has a metaphor. Just like the Prometheus had a metaphor. You know, the Titan that stole the fire from the gods, and he's being punished because he stole the fire, gave the fire to the people. And the tragedy of that is the Prometheus, the ship that's headed to this tragedy, discovering these engineers that created us, and these same engineers created this this biochemical weapon, whatever it was, that creates these hideous creatures. And these hideous creatures are created by an android that the humans created. Think about it. Engineers created us, and now we created these hideous androids, and these androids now creating their own creatures. So it's like passing on the torch of the gods, or stealing the fire from the gods. And that's the metaphor of Prometheus. And just so happens that the Prometheus, the ship, it's named Prometheus. And I think Ridley has explained this very articulate. And that's another thing I like about him. He's very smart. He's a historian. He's very intelligent. I mean, great fucking guy, man. What can I say?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to end it here. It's been a pleasure. It's been a great day.
It's been a pleasure, man. Likewise.
Congratulations to Manny Penny. I helped her with her PC. I'm so happy that her PC is working right now. I tell her that she needs to upgrade her internet a little bit faster, because she only has 97 megabits per second, which is very low, right?
Very low.
Yeah. So I told her she can reach out to me, reach out to you anytime, and
Yeah.
congratulations to her PC. Yeah.
What was wrong in the end? Was it just the cable? Was it or?
What happened is she was connecting the HDMI to the motherboard outlet, and you cannot do that because you're using a graphics card. That's where the display is being outputted.
Yeah.
The only way she can use that motherboard display is if she removes the graphics card.
Yeah.
So I told her, go in the back and find out where the graphics card is installed, and you will see a bunch of inputs in the back, and you'll see the HDMI, and turn the HDMI upside down, make sure it fits, and she got it.
Yeah.
And I showed her how to use the sound, go to the option menus on the Windows, how to use the sound from her television, to broadcast on the television from the computer. The only thing right now is that is her internet. It's very slow.
Yeah.
But I told her there's nothing you can do about that. The only thing you can do is hopefully your provider will have a better speed in the future, you know.
Or maybe she's just using her dad's working like internet, and maybe they only put a certain amount out on stuff. So
could be.
She might have to just probably get her own internet or something installed.
Could be. She's using a Wi-Fi adapter, and the Wi-Fi adapter, I don't know how good it is. You know, it might not be that good. She might need to get like a proper router. You know, like a very fast Wi-Fi router that could maybe help with the bottleneck. That could help too. You know. And I told her to get that link cable from Facebook, which is $80, you know. Yeah. Definitely to go with that.
I've got 2 of them.
Cables. So the good news is she got the computer, it's working, and I'm very happy for her. So congratulations to Money Penny, to Katie. That's awesome, you know.
Yeah, because I did tell her yesterday to make sure she had the HDMI into the graphics card, but I didn't know whether she knew or not and stuff.
Believe me, it was a learning curve. It took a while for me. Like, she's been showing me all different sides of her computer. It took about 15-20 minutes, and finally we got to the back of it, you know. Yeah. And she kept saying, "Oh, I'm a dumb blonde. I'm a dumb blonde." I said, "No, you're not dumb."
Oh, she's fine.
I said, "You're not dumb. It's just this is the first time you dealing with a PC." Yeah. I would be dumb too if it was my first time. What is this?
I was like it myself when I first built my computer. I actually fried the motherboard by accident.
Yeah. So, you know, if you show me an airplane, I was like, whoa, what is this cockpit? What is all of this shit? I have no idea. What is
now
this?
Who do I have to kill?
What do I got to do here? You know? So, or put you in like an international space station. What the fuck am I doing here? I'm floating, but what is all this stuff?
Oh, am I supposed to float outside? Oh, why have I got this disconnected on me? Oh, what the fuck? Where am I now?
Yeah. So, I told her, don't be too hard on yourself, you know. If you're not familiar, there's nothing wrong if you say, I don't know. There's no shame in that, to say, I don't know. You know. The worst that can happen is people who say, "Oh, I know." No, you don't. There's no shame in saying, "I don't know." You know, because if you say you know, well, all you're gonna do is screw things up.
And make it worse.
Make it worse, because you're claiming you know. There is no shame in saying, "Hey, I don't know. If I don't know something, I don't know." So, hey, please explain to me what is this? How does this work? You know, no shame in that. You know. So I'm happy for her. That's awesome.
Oh, same here, man. Same here.
All right, so we're going to end it here. 2 hours and 18 minutes. It was great. I really enjoyed this.
It's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, man. And I'm sure you can catch this segment on Anthony Kenneth Bishop's channel, too.
And I'll link up your channel as well in the description below.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. And everybody else who showed up, thank you for being here. Thank you, engineer. Thank you, Pickle Ninja. Thank you, everyone who came in.
Yeah, thank you guys and girls turning up.
And my babushkas, obviously. Thank you, babushkas. And please, you know, don't invade anybody, all right? All right?
Unless you've got a third leg.
Yeah, okay? Don't invade anybody. Because remember, the true winner in war is the war itself. So,
nobody wins.
Yeah, nobody wins. There won't be any winners.
Yeah.
Only pain and suffering.
And losers.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, on that note, let's hope that the positivity echoes in eternity. That's all we can hope for. Man. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. This is Brian James signing off.
And it's Anthony Kenneth Bishop. Always stay
all
safe.
Right. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Always
man.
a pleasure.
All right. Cheers. I'll be back.
I'm gonna finish this thing right now. All right, gentlemen. Thank you. That was great. Love Anthony Kenneth Bishop. Always a pleasure to have him here. I enjoyed the conversations I had with him about the spirits and other things. And I hope you enjoy this. And if you missed it, you can watch the whole thing from the beginning. And till next time, thank you guys. Always a pleasure. Cheers.